I made effort to get the best out of him. That the very day I expelled him was the day he decided to turn around his life. That he went and started reading, made his papers and traveled abroad. So that kind of impact, of course, I could not recognize him. I do not know him. He told me his name, I couldn't remember still. So that is one aspect of the impact people could make. I met this legend in 1985, 39 years ago. And that was at my final year in the primary school. I was sent to the village to stay with my grandmother, and I was to conclude my primary school. Lo and behold, I met a man. What fascinated me most, my first encounter with him, was he entered the class and started writing. And it was letter writing. And he entitled it, "Time Shall Come." And he wrote, "Time shall come when uneducated people will find no space in human society. Time shall come when reading and writing will become a necessary condition for your meaningful existence in the society." After that, he started explaining, remember, I think I should be the only person who came from the urban to that village. They were all village children. But he started talking about the value of education. After emphasizing this, he encouraged everyone. Do not end at this level. Even if your parents are too poor, you can do it yourself. You can tell yourself, you can meet your uncles, tell yourself you will not end at this level. That was a man motivating toddlers who actually hardly understood the meaning and the value of education. Talk about sacrificial insistence on getting it right. If he gives assignments, if you finish, you go. If you don't finish, he marks it, go and continue. This man, of course, the time was usually around 1 o'clock or thereabout, I won't remember. But he will sit and mark the assignment until the last person finishes and gets this right. Sometimes it is about 3 o'clock. Some will say, hey, we'll give him a nickname. Some will say, I didn't go today, that man helped me. I will use the nickname. So, people were saying, people dreaded him, but he was getting it right. The other one is objective justice. One of his sons was my classmate. So, he will always insist that you get it right. We know him very well as a first-class disciplinarian. Whenever you commit any offense, you must come there and get the strokes on the lash. And there is nothing like him making an empty threat. And that was why we dreaded him and were complying. On one occasion, it was his own son, his third son, who committed the offense. And he said, because you are my son, you are not going to stand to receive the strokes. You are going to lie on the table. Because the offense is 6 strokes, yours will be 12. Because you can't afford to disgrace your own father. And he asked us to hold this man, this young boy, and he made good his threat. That was the legacy of objective justice that I found, and this is what seems to be lacking in our society today. Remember, this was a man who was living among people whose philosophy was, second to this philosophy is that that was like a traditional injustice handed over, but was able to swim against the current and was handing on to the generation a different kind of legacy. Today, some of us have imbibed that legacy, and that is my message today. Whenever I meet stakeholders in education or in any sector, I try to propagate objective justice. Today, incidentally, I am a decision maker at a a wider sphere. People who come to that office should be able to say that there is justice here, there is fairness here. And where did it start? I learned it from my cradle, from a consummate personality who was my teacher. I hope you know it is not fashionable and it is not a popular action to swim against the current. If you want to stand on the path of right, definitely society will denigrate you, people will deride you, people will conspire against you. But it is a legacy that rather endures beyond your time. One of the observations I made in my encounter with teaching and learning was that over the years, everybody laments from my primary school, secondary school. When I studied education, I did my first degree in education after my priestly ordination, did my second degree in metaphysics, and my PhD in education also. And in all this, people will be asking you to enumerate problems of education in Africa, in West Africa, in Nigeria. People say examination malpractice. The man marking the script, setting the question as examination malpractice is involved. So it is like a cankerworm that has gone so round. And how? You may not give an unmerited grade, but you have approached a stakeholder to employ somebody who you are aware does not have the requisite capacity to impact knowledge. So what was obtainable in our society was that we flag off recruitment exercises, and then at the end of the day, they will now get quotas from all sections, stakeholders, every ministry and so on, including the CEO and everyone. At the end of the day, the quotas will overthrow the merits, and we continue to lament. When I came to PPSMB and I was asked to nominate 30 people for federal government training, and I told those in charge, please review this letter and revert to me. The only thing I saw was 30 names on my table. And I asked them, from where did we get these 30 names? They said, we got good teachers from good schools. And I said, who told you there are no good teachers from bad school? Meanwhile, what are the parameters for measuring good and bad teachers? And I said, okay, send a message across, let all principals nominate their 2 best teachers. I'm talking about Enugu State. The 2 best were nominated and they came for assessment. Then we generated 50 questions. Elementary questions. What are the questions? Give me the formula for simple interest. What is the formula for calcium, nitrogen? How many days do we have in a year? How many days do we have in a leap year? I'm not exaggerating. People were there, it was covered. How many weeks do we have in a year? These are some. They were simple questions and they were writing, talking about the best that were nominated from different schools by the school principals. At the end of the exercise, 178 were seated at the hall. 8 people scored 0 over 50. 8. So what happened? The principal did not want to nominate the best. He instead felt there is federal government training. Let my friends, let those loyal to me go. That was why, and I told the 8 people who got 0, 22 people got between 9 and 1 over 50. The statistics do not matter here. But the message I'm passing across here is that we have a man who was very objective. Of course, I will tell you, within that 1 year, of course, the son was not taking first position. But today is what is obtainable is that the teacher, the classroom teacher, will use the question to do revision for the child in primary school. The child will have, so that's why in the classes where the mother teaches, the child is usually taking first position or thereabout. But the son does not see the exam question. So sometimes we beat him to the position, but his father was the teacher. What it means that he was not showing him the question. These are the only things that will restore the society. And I want to plead with the stakeholders who are here. Let something we can imbibe from this man it be that objective justice and that sacrificial insistence that people get it right. So many people, when they hear my name, they say, crucify him. Why? The local government chairman will say he has no either respect for man. He doesn't consider. So what will I consider when I have said there is on Tuesday now? If you want to watch it, we are doing principal appointment. It is the position of the chairman to say, you go to Tansekuri, you go to... But I said, no, let's pick the best. Everybody gathers and say, write exam. So all the stakeholders, politicians who are calling, please, can you help me? My uncle, my aunt is here. She is level 16. She wants to be, I want her to be principal. I said, no, just tell her to come for assessment. So the assessment is open, get an independent person, he does the assessment, at the end of the day, the questions are the answers are shared, check if there is error, then we'll do open oral assessment. At the end of the day, somebody emerges, not from the chairman, not from the governor, not from the chief of staff, but from the assessment. And that is what the only way to get the right people. I'm telling people, so now, very soon now, recruitment between March and May, there will be recruitment of teachers. I will make more enemies. Because our method is to get independent examiners. And everybody goes online to key in. And when you key in, you do the assessment. At the end of the day, nobody, if we do that for 1 decade, objective assessment and recruitment of the right persons, then children will have the best arms to take them to where they belong. And at the end of the day, you will see education taking its shape without anybody shouting foul. That is the only way. So I plead with all the dignitaries and stakeholders here to please let what we are learning from this man be that objective justice which I have imbibed, and believing God, if we can align it to other things you have learned and other good things we have talked about here, there will be a great state and a great nation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Please, I will suggest another round of applause for Father Hilary. Father Hilary Modile, or what they call now Dr. Hilary. Dr. Reverend Father Hilary Modile is my own brother. Of course, if he was not what he is, I mean, just go by saying what his name is. But you know that success is infectious. So can you also clap for me and him? He is my brother. Please, an applause. He started in CIC, and the product of CIC is known to this date as the best of the best. It was while he was in CIC as the principal of that school that he was discovered by the state government, and he is now in charge of PPSMB. So whatever we do to improve on education, we are building the future. Everyone that was here earlier today saw the impact of good training on the students that performed here, and everybody was happy. If we must have students that will be of that standard, that means we have to toe the line of F.M.O and of course Father Hilary here. So we have some products in the course of doing the right thing. If you want to have your child perform well in the secondary school or anywhere, you don't have to pamper the child. You subject the child to the training that he will just remember when you are no more there. It is because ANIEKWE did well that the children was able to put up with a thing like this. I pray that all of us will benefit in one way or the other from good training in Jesus' name. We have a program and we are running down. I believe that everybody is getting their attention. If there is anything that has not reached you and you want to, and you feel our program. Okay, an interlude, please. While we're getting ready for the presentation of gifts and award to the winners of this competition. But before then, if one or two persons have anything to say, you can come and take the floor. Especially people that know something, one or two things about the man we are celebrating today. I encountered him before he died, and whenever I come in ground in his house, we always say, is it that Nwamofiago? Because myself, I'm from Afa, I'm from that part of Afa that is called Nwamofiago. That is where we have the concentration of the best in the north. I know that Ikwe Tahiroji will not complain. If not for anything, at least our population is the best, the biggest, the north. So we can take that for being the best. So the man is sensitive, he's active, even at old age. As soon as you approach him, he will recognize you and he will take you on a history of what has happened around you, your community, and what he knows about you. You will marvel at what the man can be able to say about you. And just like the Father Hillary said, I draw an inspiration from that man. Apart from his generosity, he has a thing or two to tell you about life. You will learn a thing or two as soon as you are in his presence. And that was the reason why the children decided to honor him. Today, he is gone, but he lives on. Fred and Julie Foundation means that the foundation is being laid now, which, by the grace of God, will continue. So, I guess the in-law here may like to say one or two things. Is that? Okay. Thank you. Where is the DJ? You can give us an interview. Thank you.